Hey, it's the return of the Alexander reviews a movie that's still topical because it's not years upon years old. Who would have thought that would happen? Alita Battle Angel. I feel like I should start off by saying that I had the lowest of low expectations for this movie ever since I saw the initial trailer. I was like, ew, Alita's eyes are unsettling. The CGI doesn't look very good. I'm not a huge fan of James Cameron outside of the first two Terminators and Aliens. By that I mean the movie Aliens, not the first two Alien movies, alright? Don't get on me in the comments, one of you. And I'm pleased to say this movie did surpass my expectations. The basic premise of Alita Battle Angel is Christoph Waltz's character, Dyson Ido, finds the head of a cyborg and he puts it on a robot body and he starts to try to raise it as a daughter. And then as time goes on, she starts to learn things about her mysterious and enigmatic past. She finds that she's a warrior, and so she decides to be a warrior. And there's a city called Zalem that's above their city called Iron City, and it's like a utopia, but not really, because some people have been there, and it's a bad place to be. But everybody in Iron City wants to be there. But there's no way to get from Iron City to Zalem. And there's a sport called motorball or whatever. I just want to say, the world building when it was happening was interesting. The world that this movie takes place in is somewhat interesting. I just wish that the world building had been less people just talking and more like me getting to see some stuff. I would have dealt with like a half-hour longer movie that had flashbacks or took place somewhat out of order, like a Christopher Nolan film that at least gets to show you some of Zalem and some of the world before what they call the fall, which is basically the collapse from Destiny. The CGI in this movie is very hit or miss for me. Like, after a while, Alita is fine. Her eyes stop being unsettling. You just get used to it. I didn't get to see this movie in 3D like I wanted to, but it's whatever. The blue screens were fine because most of the time the environment wasn't moving around too much, but once things do start moving at hyper speeds, it's like a little disgusting. The action is interesting. When the action finally does start happening, it's like it grips you. You want to see what's going on, but there are a few too many cuts sometimes, and there's a lot of awkward moments in the fight scenes where it's just like, okay, but is this character just standing still now? The performances I felt were fun. Christoph Waltz does a great job. Mahershala Ali does a good job. A certain actor that I'm tired of is also in the movie. Thing about Mahershala Ali's character, he doesn't do a whole lot. In fact, he spends a lot of his screen time being mind controlled. So it felt like Mahershala Ali's talent was somewhat wasted. They didn't need someone like him. Anybody, I could have played that role, really. It's not like we need some sort of A-list, fantastic, phenomenal actor to play this role where he has maybe 20 to 25 lines of dialogue that are actually him speaking. There's a twist toward the end of this movie that I really like, but it comes off the heels rather of this disease that I like to call wrap-it-up-itis. There's a lot of loose threads, or loose ends, I guess, towards the end of the movie that could set up for a sequel. They do a little bit of sequel baiting at the end, but then everything wraps up at once except for one plot point. And I think they're saving that for a sequel. I don't know about that, though. I don't think that's how you structure a story. You should leave it to where there's some meat for the next story that you want to tell. The romance between Alita and Hugo isn't very strong. In fact, there's a very, very cringy moment at a certain point in it. But at the same time, it does feel like somebody who's trying to figure out how these feelings work, falling for someone who doesn't think that they deserve it. I hope I haven't said too much about that. But apart from all of that, I mean, I guess the movie was fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great. It's like, take your favorite movie and subtract your least favorite movie, and you'll get Alita Battle Angel. If I were to take... What's my actual favorite movie? Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and remove I Feel Pretty by Amy Schumer, I'd get Alita. And it's actually a pretty good amount of meat to still have after subtracting something like I Feel Pretty. In the end, there's not a whole lot that I can say negative or overwhelmingly positive about this movie, so I'm just going to say it's worth the price of admission, which is a higher rating than I expected to give it. So, Merry Christmas. But Alita Battle Angel, have you seen it? Probably not. What did you think about it? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below. And educate me. And as always, if you want more videos from me, then just click anywhere on the screen.